Hey everybody, it's Shelley Hoffman with Lauren Russett. Lauren is wearing her Chamber of Commerce hat today for the Greater Baldwinsville Chamber of Commerce. How you doing today there, lady?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty well. Thank you for asking. I'm wearing one of my new HHC shirts
Oh,
that
there you
Andy
go.
Levine made me from Apparel Brothers, which is always awesome. One of my favorite people in
Yes.
the, I think that's still the Village. Is that still the Village down there in Nobles Plaza?
I think so. I think it's like right past that where it's not the village. I could
Yeah.
be wrong though. I have no idea.
As somebody will correct us, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
So, what's been happening with the chamber this past month?
So we had a wonderful Taste of Beeville event in September. So kind of pulling the aftermath of that, trying to make sure everything's in order so that way next year it's all as simple as possible so that way we can add even more really awesome ideas that we um, started getting feedback from people on things that they want to see, things that they want added. So kind of breaking down those and seeing how we can make those happen in the future. But it was a really great event. We're estimating right around 3,500 people at least stopped in, got to check out some of the awesome food in Beeville. Um, and that was the main thing that we've had this fall. And I think it was so good for all of us to see everyone out and about. We had a beautiful day with weather. I got a little nervous in the morning because I thought it was going to rain, and then it sprinkled just a little bit, but all worked out. We had amazing music, and the food was absolutely delicious. So we were super excited about that.
Yeah, I stopped down, hit and miss. My girls, Taylor worked with Robin Mack, who owns the candy shop, so she was there, and it was definitely well attended. And same as you, like I heard some feedback of things that could be added. And the only thing I'm gonna say, because I know that you guys really, you're just happy people came. But one thing I'm gonna say is up until really a week or two before with COVID, it's hard to know exactly what you could do. So in planning it, it's like this is what we can plan. So if we have to cancel last minute, it's not difficult to quote unquote cancel. And I know you won't say that, so I'm going to say it for you guys, just because I heard some, well, it'd be nice to have this, and then the other thing too is some of the restaurants that maybe typically would participate, staffing is tough. I talked to the Delias at Pizza Man, and they definitely did it. They rocked it at the Taste of Evil and at the pub. But to have that staffing for both events when there's a staffing shortage everywhere, that came into play too. So I thought it was a great event. And again, I know a little bit of the background of it as to why maybe it was a little bit smaller than people were anticipating as far as activities. There was definitely a planned reason for that. So I
Yeah,
just want to put it out there.
I think it was, we got as many, we could have had a few more vendors food wise, but as you said, staffing was a kind of an issue. I know Tommy Taylor really wanted to do it from Samuel Malone's and was ready to go, but sometimes staffing just doesn't work out, so he ended up doing a sponsorship. Same with other places like the diner, they said they weren't able to do it because of staffing, and which we totally get. And at least we had enough vendors there where we got to at least everyone could try out Beeville. It was great. We had our beer truck there, as well as Little Twisted's brought her food truck right onto the island, which is always fun. So,
Nice.
um, yeah, the music I don't think could have been any better. Especially our closing out band was great. Um, really brought the lights, and it was really fun. So we were happy about that.
Yeah, it was a great event. I know you guys have done other things like over at Michelle Worth. She had Coffee Talk a
Mhm.
couple weeks ago, and she had a really good turnout for that.
Yeah, she had glazed and confused donuts, which is always a good turnout. And yeah, it was great. I had never been inside the space after she moved in, so it was great to see the work that she's done, and it's really beautiful in there. So it's always great that we can kind of use our coffee talks, just do something a little bit different from like our daily routines, um, which somewhat brings me into next month. November 4th, we will be having our coffee talk over at the Painting Cafe with Miss Johnny Lynn Fairmonti, which I'm super excited for because she's always so bubbly, so excited. And who knows what she'll have for us to do. And
I'll be honest, she scares me a little bit
a
because
little
she's so
bit.
artsy and crafty and, you know. Speaking of, did you see the windows at 12 Oswego
I
Street
did.
building?
I saw them when she was painting them, and I was like, oh gosh, what is getting painted? And then I saw it was about window painting next weekend. So they look everything she does. I know she painted Robin's windows
Mhm.
for I believe it was graduation,
Yes.
and those were awesome too. So it's always good to see because then it adds some color to the regular. I mean, not the building at 12 Oswego needs color, but it is gray, so added a little bit of fun to it. So.
No, it's perfect. And I'm just going to do a plug for the town of Lysander and Johnny Lynn because Johnny Lynn, you may not know this, but she's also sponsoring the window painting, which I thought was great. Kevin from the town of Lysander, him and I've been kind of coordinating a little bit. So between HHC, the town of Lysander, and now throwing Johnny Lynn into the mix, how can window painting go wrong?
Right.
Right?
No, it's going to be amazing. I mean, I've done window painting with my cousin. I did window painting when I was little, and I've done it with my cousins in the last couple of years. So I'm super excited for this weekend for it.
And yep. So we can come back to the window painting because I kind of changed topics because Johnny, when you talk Johnny Lynn,
It,
she's everywhere doing everything, right?
yes.
When is she having her coffee talk?
November 4th at 10 a.m. So
Okay.
she's located right over by Seneca Savings, right in the back. You can get over actually on the right hand side if you're coming from Beeville of that hair place. So she's right over there.
Yes. And her new place, if you went to her old place, which was in the Titcomb building, she's pretty much just across the street, but it's a larger space. She has some windows, some natural light coming in,
Right.
and she always has it decorated for one birthday party or some event. So it just you walk in, it feels like a big party room.
Yeah, it
It's
was
just
great
great.
to get to tour the space during her ribbon cutting. She had so many people there, and she's always doing so many great things like her art camps and all of that. So I'm super excited to kind of bring more people in to kind of see what she offers. And I know she does stuff for kids and adults, so it
Yes.
just ranges. So I'm excited.
So going back to what we were talking about with the window painting, the chamber also has an event happening that day as well.
Yeah, so usually the last year or so, the chamber will piggyback on the town of Lysander painting in order for us to host our annual trick or treating event. So our trick or treating event is a way for kids, teens, adults to um, get to go around the village, not to houses, but to all of our local businesses. Um, it's completely free. It's just a good way for the businesses to showcase their business, whether it's inside or they just have an opportunity to explain what they offer, food, service, and all of that. So we will be doing it from 11 to 2 this Saturday. No sign up required. I'll be publishing a map this Thursday evening of all the locations that had reached out and said that they're going to do it. There might be a couple pop-ups that they didn't let us know, but the more the merrier. We're just super excited to have as many local businesses represented. So it kind of coincides directly with the window painting, so that way parents don't have to come back and forth. And I know costumes are recommended for the window painting, so it all works out really nicely. So
The going back to the businesses, or did they receive an email? Were they get an email? Where do they find? Because there is something that goes in the window so people know who's participating. Correct? How did that work?
yep. So all the businesses have received the initial promotion email, plus it's on Facebook. And then on Thursday evening, um, there will be the map published as well as just another print off graphic. But the main difference this year is the map, which we'll have a copy of the printed maps over at our chamber table, which will be located, I believe, outside of Fashion Rescue.
Oh, good. That's where you guys were last year
Yep.
as well.
So that's where we will be with candy and most likely costumes. So that's what I would say the best starting point is over in that area. Um, and more as we get more names and all of that, um, it will be easier to kind of see like maybe even I might be able to try to draw out a route. So um, a walking route. So we'll see on that end. But yes, this Saturday, 11 to 2.
Perfect. I'm pretty sure I have an oversized chicken and cow handing out candy at HHC this Saturday. So if you happen to see a cow and a chicken, it is not me. So
Awesome. Yeah, my cousin is going to be doing the handing out of candy for Russett PR. So I just spent last night working on stuffing bags of candy. But we're also recommending for some of the businesses to do peanut free options, just because I know that that's a huge issue and we don't want anyone to feel excluded. So even if it's just a few that you have there, that'd be a good idea.
yeah, absolutely. So, well, nice. Anything else that you can think of that you want to throw out? I know, for the chamber, sometimes it's not necessarily the chambers are the reason it's happening, but you're in the know of a lot of things that are happening.
I just set a meeting. I don't know how much information I'm supposed to know, but I'm super excited to meet with Rusico this week to talk about Parade of Lights a little bit and see how the chamber can help out with that. We're going to be posting a survey in the coming weeks because we'll be redoing the chamber website. So with that, it's going to include new features that make it a little bit easier to not only reach out to the chamber, but also promote yourself within the chamber. So that will be done by hopefully, most likely the end of the year. So a survey will be going out to kind of see soon a little bit on what you want, as in the businesses, as well as the community in general. Because we also want to make sure that not only are we supporting the businesses, but we're also seeing what the community might be wanting and needing and how the chamber can fill that void. So that survey will be out in sometime November. We haven't picked a date yet, but that will also just help in our research for that.
Awesome. Well, as we always talk about it, you need to be changing and growing and revolving with the community and the businesses to stay relevant. Right. So that's awesome to hear you guys are doing that. All right there, lady. Well, then I'm assuming you're going to be in costume on Saturday.
Yeah, I haven't really figured out what I'm going to do yet, but I'm going to go to Spirit Halloween this week eventually. So we'll see. It's going to be something weird and different, or I might just put a witch hat on.
No, you got to dress up.
I can put a cape on too. Thing. I want to try to find a Mrs. Claus outfit just to have. So maybe I'll.
Then you'll just have it.
Yep.
Thanks as always for keeping us informed.
Thank you for having the chamber on. We appreciate it. So
absolutely, and I look forward to seeing what you guys have going on November, December, January, the holidays. It should be a much more active community this year than it was last year.
Yes. So December we have something fun in the works, so that will hopefully be ready to talk about at our next call or even sooner. So I'm excited.
Perfect. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of your day, and I will talk with you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Welcome to Real Estate I Love It podcast. Episode of Real Estate I Love It. Be sure to subscribe and leave a review on whatever stream platform you're using for your podcast. See you next time.